Welcome back to the CS Mentor. In the last video, we lived in a perfect world. We looked at the /24. That was the easy part. That was the comfort zone. In a /24, the line between the network and the host fell perfectly between the decimal numbers. It was clean. It was tidy. You could just look at the numbers and see the structure immediately. But here's the hard truth. The real world is not always clean. Real networks are not always perfectly sized. Imagine you are a network engineer and you have a small branch office with only 50 computers. If you give that office a standard /24 network, you are giving them 254 usable addresses. They only need 50. That means you are wasting over 200 IP addresses. In the world of networking, IP addresses are like gold. You do not throw gold in the trash. You need to be efficient. So we have to make the network smaller. We have to tighten the mask. This is where the decimal shortcut stops working. This is where the memorization fails. This is where most students fail their exams. Today we are going to master the /25. If you just look at the decimal numbers, a /25 makes zero sense. You cannot see the division. To understand it, you have to leave the decimal world behind and enter the binary world. Let's go back to first principles. A standard /24 mask has 24 ones. Those ones act like a lock. They say, do not touch this part. That leaves exactly 8 zeros at the end for the hosts. The line is drawn right after the 24th bit. Now think about what /25 literally means. It is just a count. It means we have 25 ones. To get 25 ones, we have to change something. We have to reach across the borderline into the host section and steal 1 bit. We borrow it. That single zero, which used to belong to the hosts, now belongs to the network. It used to be a 0, now it is a 1. This might seem like a small change. It is just one single digit. But that single shift changes the physics of the entire network. It has 2 massive consequences that we need to break down. First, let's look at what this does to the subnet mask itself. Computers read binary, but we humans need to type decimal numbers into our routers, so we have to translate this new pattern. In the last section of the mask, the last octet, we used to have 8 zeros. That equaled 0. But now, we have 1 bit turned on. And it is not just any bit. It is the very first bit on the left. In the binary place value system, that first position is the most significant bit. It holds the highest value. That single position is worth 128 because that is the only bit turned on in the last section. The total value of that section is 128. So, your new subnet mask is not .0 anymore. It is 255.255.255.128. This is a critical marker. Whenever you are troubleshooting a network and you see a subnet mask ending in .128, your brain should immediately scream, "Stop! This is not a normal network. This network has been split in half." Now let's look at the second consequence, which is even more important, the size of the street. In our old /24 network, we had 8 bits reserved for hosts. If you know your powers of 2, you know that 2 to the power of 8 is 256. That was a nice long street. We had plenty of room. But remember, we stole a bit. We borrowed one for the network. That means we only have 7 bits left for the hosts. We have to do the math again. What is 2 to the power of 7? Let's count it out. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 128. 2 to the power of 7 is 128. This is your logic check. This is how you know you are right. We started with a block of 256. We borrowed 1 bit, which cut the possibilities in half. Half of 256 is exactly 128. So we have effectively taken our one giant neighborhood and built a massive concrete wall right down the center of the street. We now have 2 separate neighborhoods, and each neighborhood is exactly 128 addresses long. Let's watch this work in practice with real numbers. This is the part where people get confused about where the numbers start and stop. Let's take the network 192.168.1.0 and let's apply our new /25 mask. We know we have 2 blocks. Let's map out the first one. We will call this Subnet A. Every network, no matter how small, always starts at 0. So the network ID for our first subnet is 192.168.1.0. Now, we need to find the end of the block. We know the block size is 128. If we start counting at 0 and we take 128 steps, where do we land? Be careful here. This is a common mistake. You do not land on 128. You land on 127. Why? Because in computer science, 0 counts as a number. 0 is the first step. So the range from 0 to 127 contains exactly 128 unique addresses. So, the broadcast address for this first neighborhood is .127. This is the address the computers use to shout to everyone in Subnet A. Now that we have the start and the end, we can find the usable range. As we learned in the first video, you cannot assign the network ID or the broadcast IP to a specific computer. They are reserved for the system. So your first usable IP is one number higher than the ID. That is .1. Your last usable IP is one number lower than the broadcast. That is .126. That is the complete map of the first neighborhood. Now let's jump over the wall. Let's look at the second neighborhood, Subnet B. If the first neighborhood ended at .127, the second one must start at the very next number. There are no gaps in IP addressing, so the network ID for the second subnet is 192.168.1.128. I want you to pause and look at that number. .128. This is the part that confuses beginners. They look at .128 and they think, hey, that looks like a normal host address. I can give that to my printer. But in a /25 world, you cannot. In this specific scenario, .128 is a network ID. It is the name of the second street. It is locked. It is unusable for devices. Now, how far does this second block go? Again, the size is exactly the same. It is 128 addresses long. If you start at 128 and you add 128, you reach the very end of the octet. You reach 256. But since we count from 0, the maximum value is actually 255. So the broadcast address for the second subnet is .255. And just like before, the usable computers must be squeezed in between. The first usable IP is one number higher than the ID. That is .129. The last usable IP is one number lower than the broadcast. That is .254. So now we have mapped out the entire universe of this /25. Why does all this math matter? Why do we care so much about this invisible line? Imagine a real-world scenario. You're in an office building. You have two computers sitting on the same desk. Computer A has the IP address 192.168.1.10. Computer B has the IP address 192.168.1.200. They are plugged into the same switch. They are physically next to each other. In the old /24 world, these two computers were neighbors. They were on the same list. They could share files instantly. But in this new /25 world, we built a wall at .128. Computer A is in the lower neighborhood. Computer B is in the upper neighborhood. When Computer A tries to send a message to Computer B, it checks its subnet mask. It does the math, and it realizes, wait a minute, .200 is not on my street. It is on the other side of the wall. Computer A will logically refuse to talk to Computer B directly. It considers it a stranger. It considers it a remote device. Even though they are inches apart logically, they are in different universes. To make them talk, you would need to buy a router to carry the message up and over the wall. That is the power of subnetting. It gives you control. It allows you to segregate traffic for security. It allows you to group employees in one block and guest Wi-Fi in another block, ensuring they can never accidentally touch each other's data. So let's summarize the pattern. A /25 is not magic math. It is simply moving the line one bit to the right. By borrowing that one single bit, we change the mask to .128, and we split the world into two equal blocks of 128. If you can grasp this logic, you have unlocked the pattern for everything else. Because guess what? It keeps going. Here's your homework. I want you to push your brain one step further. We just borrowed one bit, but what happens if we borrow 2 bits? What happens if we use a /26? If we borrow 2 bits, what does the decimal mask look like? And more importantly, if borrowing 1 bit created 2 neighborhoods, how many neighborhoods does borrowing 2 bits create? Think about the powers of 2. Put your answer in the comments below. Stop memorizing, start understanding. I will see you in the next video.